Today we're doing our makeup as Princess Peach. Let's go. Starters, we need to get these eyebrows smaller. So let's block out these eyebrows. I usually do a handful of layers. I don't even count. I just do a handful of layers until it starts getting a little tacky. And then I move on over to the other eyebrow and let them dry down, and then repeat the same steps until you no longer can feel your eyebrow hairs. While my eyebrows are drying, I like to work on other things. So we'll go ahead and put the wig cap on. I'm just going to brush back all of my hair, tie it back, and then I'll apply the wig cap on. These are covered, and I'm going to put over them just a little setting powder just to get rid of that shine. I use this Mayron cream paint stick. This is their Pastel Orange, just to go over top of the eyebrows and just color correct them a little bit. I also like to apply a little bit of a cream paint on top anyway. Sometimes I'll just do like a white, and that just helps to kind of fill in any extra lines that are like grooves from your hair. It'll kind of like seep in there and create a little bit more of a smoother foundation for you. Using more setting powder, I'm just going to set that color. This keeps the color corrector from mixing with your concealer or whatever you're going to put on top of it. Peach's base, I'm going to be using two Makeup Forever HD foundations. This one is in 1N00 and this one is in Y235. Together I think they'll make the perfect match for her. She's got a very pale complexion, but it's not this pale. This is a really great match for her. I already mixed up those colors, and I feel like this is a pretty good match. I'm going to put it on pretty thick so that we have a really great base to work with. And then when we do part two, we'll have a stronger foundation to work on when we add more stuff to it. For the eyelids, I want to do a pop of white, so I'm using the Abby Roberts Morphe palette and just going into this sushi color, and I'm just going to pack this on my lid. The foundation is still a little wet, so that's going to be used as technically our concealer or our primer. For the Peach has very big eyes, so to make the eyes a little bit larger, we're going to line the waterline with this white jumbo. And then we're just also going to drag out this white cream paint underneath the eye, and this is going to give the appearance of an enlarged eye. Make sure you coat the lashes too, because you don't want to really see your lashes. You don't want to see them at all. And then I'm just going to use another brush and just dab that cream paint to make it a little bit smoother before we apply some white powder on top of it. With liquid liner, I drew a really thick top upper line and then extended down my upper lash line a little bit down just to match this other one on the other side. And you're just going to draw a small line from here over to here to enlarge the eye. Taking a little bit of a light brown eyeshadow, I am just going to kind of dot it and lightly drag it along that line just to give it a little bit of a shadow underneath. And then we'll go over top of that line with a little bit of black eyeshadow to bolden it up. Smoke out the upper lash line with a little bit of black eyeshadow, and then just coat the upper lash line, just coat the upper lashes with mascara. Try not to get any mascara on the bottom lashes. If you do, just wipe them off and then try to coat them with a little bit of that white cream paint. For the lashes, I'm just drawing them on with a black eyeshadow. Pretty rough on this side, but when I keep my eyes open, you're not going to be able to tell how crazy it is on the eyelid. Hooded eye gang, you know what I mean? But what I'm doing is I'm actually drawing it with my eye open and just looking into the mirror and trying to keep them equally spaced out. And then I'm just kind of flicking the brush a little bit by little bit so I can keep the lash a little bit more contained. And then draw it to your lid. And then once you look up, you're just going to kind of drag it down. And then add some more black eyeshadow on that to drag out that line and draw it out. I have the lashes on, and I added some Mayron body paint on top of them, except for like on the eyelid because I knew it would transfer. And then using the NYX micro pencil, I just drew on her little brows. And then I'm also going to smudge them out a little bit so they're not as perfect looking, and that'll help create like a better shape for them. For the nose contour, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me powder. I'm adding a little bit underneath. We're going to create more of a button nose. So drawing out with that powder like this will create the bottom of that nose, and then fill it in with the powder at the bottom. And then you're going to create like a little arrow. So this is the middle of my nose, and then kind of find the upper points of that triangle. And you'll drag it down to the middle, drag it down to the middle, and then I like to use this fluffy brush to bring it down the sides of my nose and blend it out. And then we're going to create a more highlighted effect with concealer on top to give that slimming effect. I'm going to apply these lashes. These are the Bold Face lashes in Newsworthy. I think these are very awesome, and the lashes are on, and these are literally perfect. And then I redid the nose. I actually did this like little upside down heart, and I don't know, I think it's so cute. I think it's smoothie time because sis is hungry, and then we'll come back, pop in the contacts, and then we'll start on the dress. For her blush, I'm going to be using the Taupe blush. This is in Seduce. I love this blush. It's my favorite. And we're just going to make sure to pat that in extra thick because she be blushing. Our next step in this would be to do the lips, but because the body is probably going to take me a couple hours, we are going to come back to the lips in a little bit, and we're going to get started on the dress. With a light pink, I just painted out kind of like the front patch of her dress, and then from here all the way over here I'm going to paint with a dark pink. I have this dark pink from Mayron that I'll be filling in. The dress is painted on, and then I'm going to start working on the lace bit by creating a little outline outside of the scallops and then drawing little circles above them. We are out of time, so go to the lace of the dress. I'm just dipping the end of my brush into my white body paint and then just dotting. I'm working on creating a dot right in the middle, and then one on each side. And you can go back in and fill them in if they didn't go all the way. This is just to kind of help you create like a more symmetrical circle. With red body paint, and I'm using like a fluffy brush to create some shadows and some folds that are in the dress. Some of this is honestly just from me just trying to think of how the dress is going to move. I created some darker shadows within the red using the Abby Roberts palette, going into this shade right here called Artistry. That's the perfect shadow. Instead of doing a black, it's like a really dark burgundy. To create the highlights, I'm going to use Mayron's White Body Paint, and I'm going to use a little fluffy brush and then another little blender brush to just blend out each of the strokes. I have my highlights added in. I'll back up a little bit so you can kind of see what it looks like. And then I made this little prosthetic piece here right here. I actually am going to repaint this yellow part to be gold because I originally was going to do her like original dress. It didn't actually have like this portion in it. And then as I was doing the makeup, I just decided I wanted to do kind of like her newer look, also kind of like remixed with the older one. I have my piece glued on, and I'm going to mix this metallic powder and this Makeup a Murder Chemical X together, and that's going to create like a nice metallic paint. And then I can paint on my little design. These are from the brand Colored Contacts, and they are in Super Sky. Next, we're going to do the lips. I'm going to use this Urban Decay lipstick in Naked. I think this is a pretty nice shade for her. I'm going to create the lip using lipstick, and then I'll carve it out using foundation. So she has like a circular bubble lip. For the lips, I also line them with a red cream paint. Now we just need to put on the wig, and then we'll glue on the earrings, and I think that's it. Before I put the wig on, I want you guys to see it. This is the wig. I definitely cut it a little too short, but for my first wig, like creating a like 3D wig, I think this was like, okay. Oh, I need to cut the wig a little bit more. Princess has arrived. Princess Peach. What do you guys think? What do we think? What do we think? Let me know in the comments what you think of this look. This wig is honestly so funny. Reminds me of George Washington. Oh my gosh, this was such a fun day creating this. Just know that this took, let's see, we started at 2:30. It is 10 o'clock. And now I'm going to get started on part 2 of Peach. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you stay tuned for Peach's demise to see what little trouble she gets into. Love you guys.